I'm right here, right here. I'm right here. Don't move, don't move. Right here.
Walk right behind you. Right behind you.
Puppy getting an invite. Back here, Priyanka. That can't happen, okay?
All over the world, country, driven in, saved, done a tremendous amount of labor and sacrifice to make it here with us today. So for that, we thank you. And we thank you because you really, really had to pull some strings to make it happen to be here today. This almost didn't happen, folks. She is really truly here because of her commitment and her desire to be here with you today. So for that, Priyanka.
I'm constantly changing, constantly evolving, and I'm hoping that everyone's still curious about me as I keep doing that.
So we're all very curious. I think we're all very curious. And I think kudos to you for taking on, I think one of the scariest things for me is the moment you stop growing and changing and evolving and ingesting information, I feel like life is really no longer worth what are you doing at that point? So congrats to you for expanding and coming here. So we're excited to have you. I meet and work with a lot of very high profile people in entertainment and beauty. And one of the things I notice is the lack of female leadership in the executive chair, in the executive seat, in the chairman, the board. And the reason I really, really was intrigued about you was that I met you through your manager, Anjula, who was a powerhouse. And I was wondering, you surround yourself with women, you invest in women, you are expanding your portfolio on female-founded companies. Tell me, you mentioned something the other day that when women are pitted against each other in any industry, that everyone loses. And so that's such a wise and evolved way to think about things. Tell me how you've come to realize that at such a young age.
Well, a couple of things. I have a hypothesis. So I feel like I've had so many times whenever I'm doing interviews, people always ask me that, oh, you're doing a movie with, a female co-actor. Did you guys get along? Were there cat fights? But when it comes to boys, they say, oh my gosh, that looks like a bromance and everyone got on so well. So I feel like over time, because women had the lack of opportunity, we were pitted against each other because there were only like 5 opportunities, like 5 places a woman could be hired, and so we were elbowing each other out to get to that one spot. So the crux of the problem is the lack of opportunity for females. And the more opportunity we create for each other, the more sisterhood will grow. We're 50% of the world's population.
That's right.
We need to be represented in every field like that. We need to be empowered by each other, by the people who are in positions of power, by putting us in positions of power. So I realized many, many years ago that the more I champion women in my own small way, maybe I'll be able to create a world around me at least, where, women run the show, because we kind of do it really well. We just aren't given the opportunity enough,
Yes! Good. Seems like everyone agrees.
I'm glad you guys agree. I like a feminist crowd, male and female. Because you know what feminism is?
Tell us.
Feminism is when you fight for the equality of everyone, not just women.
I agree. I think that doesn't get a little bit of a clap. That's everyone. No. That's including animals, that's including everything, right? It's doing right. And I think that what the feminine energy in business brings to the conversation is we do have an innate ability to make, I think, really amazing choices if given the opportunity. And so that is so much about what BeautyCon is about, because this industry is on its way to becoming a $700 billion industry worldwide. This is huge. The economic power in this room is massive. And so the inspiration for us was, when you take active, engaged consumers who are a lot of women and people of color and minorities, different ethnicities, and you provide education and optionality, I think what BeautyCon is really focused on is the merging between economic consumption of product and consumer goods, but the discipline of meaning and cause and leaving sort of a legacy behind that we're not going to be ashamed of, right? And so I know we share that same DNA. Women are statistically, based on the data, put your hands up.
There was a time we couldn't. Now we don't even think about it. So we, as women, everyone in this room and everyone in this world has a responsibility to our future daughter, to our future granddaughter, to change the world in a way where they don't have to think about lack of opportunity. They don't have to think about diversity. Diversity shouldn't even be a conversation. It should be normal. When we look around this room, there's not one kind of person. I don't even see one kind of person in one row. And that's our normal. And that's the world we will create for our daughters, for our kids. We will create men that empower the girls around them. We will create men that respect the girls around them and create a legacy for their children going forward. And I think that's our responsibility, and we need to take that really, really seriously.
We do. And I think, yes! So, you got married recently. I have a feeling there might be some...
Other people like marriage, huh?
Yeah.
Or at least mine.
Yes. Well, you would have had to been hit by a truck last year. Like, I felt bad for everyone that had anything to launch that week. Because there was nothing in the news, both digital, media, traditional, and so there's some, I would imagine there's some Nick Jonas fans here. That's what I figured.
That's always good.
He's very cheeky.
He is a little bit in every way.
And it was huge, right? This was this huge wedding. It was very traditional. It was very beautiful. But it was a ritual of ceremony that was both Christian and Hindu. And I don't know that the worldwide press had ever seen that before. A 4-day ceremony, two receptions. I mean, it's just a massive, right? 3 days, 2 ceremonies, and 4 receptions.
I can't help it. If anyone, okay, if you are South Asian or if you know someone South Asian, you understand that our parents, thank you, you understand that when someone gets married, everyone in your life needs to be a part of it. Everyone from before, everyone from after.
And also everyone you've also never met.
Everyone you've never met. Not
That
even
they
me,
know.
but everyone my mom knows.
No, exactly.
No.
It's like their friend from 50 years ago that they have everything, that their cousins in town, like they're all coming.
So because I put a full stop on how many people were invited at our wedding, which was just 180, which is really, really small for an Indian wedding. My mom was just like, well, how am I gonna, well, the jeweler needs to arrive, and my hairstylist, and like, so we had to do a couple of receptions for everyone else. And then when we came to America, my in-laws were like, well, we have friends too, so we had to do that as well. So it ended up being a few parties with like a whole bunch of people that I have known, little bit or lot. But the wedding was spectacular. It was so special. It was 3 days. One was pre-rituals, which Indian weddings really have. We have an event called a Sangeet, which is like a rehearsal dinner, except you don't have a rehearsal or dinner. It's like a song and dance sort of competition between the two families.
We loved it. We all saw it.
It was so fun. The Jonai were very, very good. Extremely talented. Kind of threw me off a little bit. And then we also have like henna ceremonies where all the girls get henna, and like it's all sort of prep for the bride, and it was super fun. And then we had the 2 weddings to respect both our religions.
And so why was it so important to you to give the audience an opportunity to see an interfaith ceremony and marriage? Because again, I think in a world with so much divisiveness, I thought it was brilliant that there was an example of actual equality and affection for each other's faiths, but why was that so important?
It was not something that we intended to do initially. We wanted to keep this really, really private, but because we had the wedding in India,
It was not private.
it was not easy to do.
Were there like choppers flying over?
Yeah, it was rough. So
Okay.
it wasn't really easy to do, like to keep it private. And then I just loved the kind of love and affection that we got when people were reading about the fact that this was going to happen. That we just thought that we were so happy and our families were so integrated, and it didn't matter what our religions were or which countries we came from. Everything just stood for love. That we eventually decided that it was important to sort of share that because we felt so full in our hearts.
It was a joy to watch, and we all felt like we were there.
I'm glad.
It was really fun.
I just love growing. Like I said, I think growing is a very important thing. And when I was very young, I started working when I was 17 years old. And I remember my mother telling me this really young, that women should be financially independent. It doesn't matter who your father is, doesn't matter who your husband is going to be, doesn't matter who your brother is, doesn't matter who the man in your life is. You need to be responsible for your finances and be financially independent. And that kind of really stuck with me. And as my career expanded, it was really important for me to invest in new things. So once I discovered tech, I've always been a fan of technology. I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer at one point. I wanted to build rockets. I wanted to, go to space. But then I became an actor. Go figure. And when I got the opportunity, I remember I was at a dinner for Bumble in New York, and I just thought it was such a cool thing to bring back to India, where women take the first move. to bring it to a country which has a patriarchal sort of society, which actually the world over is sort of patriarchal, and we as women need to fight to change that, to create that kind of equality, because no one's going to give it to us, and they're going to fight for us to have it. So it started from taking Bumble to India, and then my next investment is this engineering school, which is called Holborn, which was based on Betty Holborn. She was one of the first female engineers in the world. And this school is a peer-to-peer teaching program where you don't have to pay a tuition, and you can pay back your tuition after you graduate and get a job, so that you don't have to worry about, you know, how much schools cost, so that females can actually be a part of engineering. Just think about it this way, all of us consume tech, right? All of you have cell phones, everyone has computers, we're always online, digital is such a big part of our lives, but the people creating technology, it's so skewed because it's mostly men. And these are men who decide what we as women need. So we need females to come into engineering. As AI starts coming in, and it's going to be a big part of our lives, can you imagine the artificial intelligence that we are consuming being created by guys? And guys are going to decide what kind of things we like. So we need women to come in and realize that tech is a big part of who we are and who we're going to be at our future. So hence me investing in the engineering school. I really love female-driven companies, and I like to give them as much strength as I can with my platform, and that's a big quest of mine in life.
Just say that you came from this Be Like Water Media page, and I'll get back to you. We'll schedule a session via Zoom, and you can be anywhere in the world. So please, I welcome you. Come and message me, and we'll do some sessions together, and it'll be really fun, and I'll get you into the best shape of your life, and you'll be fit for life with everything that I teach you. It is not a diet, quick fix. It is a lifestyle. You want to be in the best shape of your life for your whole life. That's what I like to teach here at Beverly Hills Personal Training, is fit for life. You want to be fit right now, wherever age you are, whatever age, up until you're 120, like Moses. Moses in the Bible, he died at 120 with a spring in his step, it says. So that's what be my goal. That would be my goal for you. That's what I want for you when you sign up with me. All right?